Hello outside there from wherever you're watching us from. This is the Survivors, and my name is Nathan Iago, and today I'm actually proud to host the city lawyer. Most of the people know him as the Mabirizi of Soroti because of the way he's actually bringing in change inside the city. Most of us have actually known him because of the recent case after he took the city council to court because they actually failed to bring in an organization in the city, whereby they actually failed to take the taxis and the buses to the bus park. Because he went into the courts of law, and after a short run, he actually won the case. And there was some order that actually came inside the city, but recently he again filed another application. I want him to explain to us the legal action that he's actually doing for the public, because most people have kept on asking different questions. How is he doing this? And of course, who is behind him? What does it take for him to do this? So I want to give him a chance to explain to the members of the public outside there who are following us right now.
Well, thank you very much, Nathan. I'm glad that you've asked me a very marvelous question concerning the legal action that I'm taking on behalf of the public. Well, before I proceed with my explanation, I'd love to first introduce myself, much as you mentioned earlier on. So, ladies and gentlemen, those ones who are watching me in this interview right now, by the names I'm called Patrick Joshua Okello, commonly known as Jokel. For those of you who are in the music industry, most of you know me like that. But of course, the names that I was baptized are Patrick Joshua Okello. I'm a pure Ugandan who hails from Kataki district in Ngariam County. So let me start with explaining the activism, or rather the judicial activism that I'm doing on behalf of the people or the public at large. So those who are watching me right now or at this juncture, what I would love to say is that the action or the judicial activism that I do is called public interest litigation. So public interest litigation is defined in a way that it is a litigation also popular by the name of social action, action litigation, or class litigation, which refers to a legal action initiated before the courts of law for the enforcement of interests of the public. So that is a definition of it. And of course, as we know very well, all those ones who are acquainted with some bit of the law, it is also a weapon by which the poor, helpless, or the disabled seek judicial redress by filing an application to the High Court, of our country or the High Court of any other country. Like for us in Uganda here, it is usually based, or its bedrock, it's under Article 50, Clause 2, and 1 of the 1995 Constitution, which of course talks all about the rights of someone who takes an issue to court on behalf of the public. Any aggrieved citizen can do that. So that is what it says. Then also, secondly, what I would say is the concept is piece about it. The epistolary of the jurisdiction of public interest litigation is not a characteristic of adversary litigation. That's also one thing you must know. And also, on the other hand, public interest litigation is also a pro bono public, or it is a pro bono service that can be done on behalf of the public, with the intent of striking the conscience of the judiciary. And also, the judiciary must be dynamic enough to interfere on matters resulting from the lapse of constitutional or statutory duties on part of the government. So that is basically what it talks about. Moreover, every boom accompanies money, thereby the strict actions must result against the abusive conduct of those initiating frivolous public interest litigation. That's one thing again we must know about it. Then public interest litigation is a blessing to those ones, or the voiceless people, oppressed people, and the weak in the sections of the society. Interest must be material or pecuniary interest to the public, and not mere interest by way of curiosity. We must understand that any public spirited person, association, or group of such persons who have no personal interest in the matter, acting bona fide, as we call it in law, can file public interest litigation. So there are usually keywords on public interest litigation. The first one is public interest, public spirited, locus standi, epistolary, jurisdiction, and judicial activism. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and everyone who paid his attention on my explanation right now, what I would say is that is the activism that I'm doing as far as representing the voiceless people or the voiceless society is concerned. By names, I remain Patrick Joshua Okello, also known as Jokel. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
A beautiful explanation from our own city lawyer. I really appreciate you for honoring this short invite, and of course getting time to explain to the public what exactly you're doing and what makes you do this. We really appreciate it so much. And maybe before you go off, could you tell us when are you going to be having a court hearing so that the members of the public there who have interest can actually come?
Okay, the hearing for the recent application that I filed, a miscellaneous application with a case number 168 of 2023, its hearing has been slated to take place on 21st of November, which is this month, this year, and it is taking place at 9 a.m. And I would also love to make a clarification to the public or those ones who are listening to me right now. Ladies and gentlemen, who are watching me in this interview, what I would love to assure you is the case that we had last time in court got done. You know, it is bringing confusion in people. Some people assume it is the same case that we had filed last year. What I can assure you is the case that had filed, or rather that me and the public, all those ones who were in my team had filed last year, got done and we successfully won the case. So our going to court for the second time is for contempt of court order. In a layman's understanding, our going to court is for the legal actions of it's for the city council, or rather Sorority City Council, going against the court orders that court had earlier on passed when we won the other case. Because usually when court passes an order, or when you win a case in the courts of law, then the respondent or the defendant or the accused in the layperson understanding goes against the order that court had passed earlier on. You who had gone to court has a right again to go back to court. So our going back to court this time around was for the city council to go against the orders that court had passed in regard to the offloading and loading of passengers in the streets of Sorority City. So the case is taking place in a few weeks from now, as I said earlier, on 21st November, this very year at 9 a.m. High Court Sorority. Thank you. Unless if there is any other question that you wish to ask me.
No, I think actually that is all that most of the members of the public have been actually questioning some of us, and we really appreciate your reply to most of these questions. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's my great pleasure. Those ones who are watching, please, I'm here to stand as the voice for the voiceless people. Those who are poor, those who cannot afford litigation, I'm here to do on behalf of you, the public, and I'll always do that, as I'm very sure you'll keep on blessing me. May the Almighty God bless you. Thank you very much. Good night.
Amen. That was from the Mabiris of Sorority himself, Joshua Jokel.